And I think one thing I've heard you say before is creativity can be also like worship. Can
Mm-hmm.
you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think a fun kind of freebie, a key is that turning creativity into worship. Every worship isn't just us in a church room with a bunch of other people with their hands raised, right? Worship is your heart position and adoration to God. And you
Mm-hmm.
can do that through creativity. And I love that's actually how I started with hand lettering. I actually turned that into my adoration with God. I turned that into my worship. And I began to tap into heaven so much quicker. And that's when ideas would begin to descend. That's when ideas would begin to fall down because I was engaging with God. I was
Yeah.
engaging with the creator as I was creating. And that's available for us as believers that when we're creating, when you turn your creating into worship, you're engaging with the creator, and then he's depositing incredible ideas and inspiration because he's the most inspiring person we'll ever know.
Yeah.
And then he begins to deposit these ideas, and then it just becomes this interaction. Creativity it can become an interaction with God. And it can be a beautiful place where you meet with him. And so I love to meet with God in creating because I discover aspects of him, and then he gives me ideas, but it becomes my worship to him because I'm using a gift that he's put in me and I'm giving it back to him.
That's so good. And you mentioned this like we have access to like heaven's creativity.
Yeah.
So there's actually like so much that has never been seen before,
Yeah.
never been done before,
Mm-hmm.
that we can partner with God and like be a vessel to
Yeah.
release that so that
Yeah.
we're not just doing the same thing,
Yeah.
but we're doing a new thing.
Yeah. And there's so much available, like you said. It just takes even leaning in and listening to God. And I remember for me, one season we were asking God for an idea, and I was like, God, I would love an idea for a pillowcase. And I remember closing my eyes, and I was so expectant that I was going to hear from the Lord. And all of a sudden I got this idea drop in my spirit that said prophetic dreams happen here on a pillowcase. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is a God idea. There's no way that I came up with that. And it really came from asking the creator, right? A creative God for an idea. And that pillowcase has blessed so many people. It's incredible.
Yeah.
The testimonies from this one pillowcase, it's like God's fingerprint was on it. I remember got a DM from someone saying, I had insomnia and I haven't been able to sleep for so long. I got your pillowcase by faith and I slept through the night for the first time in
Hmm.
so long because of that. And that's when you know that's a creative, inspired God idea because his presence is attached to it. And
Hmm.
we've had many other products like that where I actually had one that I have seen the goodness of God that came out of not a time of inspiration, but a time of discipline where I sat down and said, God, I want to create something with you. I want to create something that is going to bless people and it's going to impact them. And I just put on worship. I began to letter, and then all of a sudden this dropped in my spirit. And I was like, oh, this is God. I know that this product, one, is going to do well, but it's
Mm.
going to bless people.
Yeah.
And that's our number one best-selling product.
Yep.
But it came from partnership with God and leaning into the creator and pulling creative ideas down from heaven because they're available, like you said. And there are ideas that haven't been pulled down that God is wanting us to pull down because, it hasn't been done before.